Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's full council meeting of Average Town Council on Monday, the 5th of August 2024. A little bit of housekeeping. Firstly, it's lovely to see so many members of the public present this evening. In the case of a fire alarm, which a drill is not planned, we have fire doors behind me, or you can exit through the front of the building the way in which you came. Next on the agenda, we have item 2, which is apologies for absence. And this evening, we have apologies from Councillor Vera Dale, Councillor Andrew Westby, Councillor John Taylor and Councillor Nigel Thwaites. Next, we have declarations of interest to receive and consider any declarations of interest on the items below. Do any members have declarations? Councillor Fraser.
No interest in 10A.
Thank you very much. Yes, I do. And any pecuniary interests? None. Next, we have item 4, public participation. Would any members of the public like to participate? Yes.
Public participation, my understanding is that it's an opportunity for the public to hold the town council to account. So in that vein, perhaps a member of the town council, other than yourself and your mother, Councillor Santo, would like to recite for the knowledge of people that don't understand it, the 7 principles of public life. The knowing principles, which is what you all work to. Would you like to inform us what those are?
It's up to you. Well, I can go through and get a list of them if you want.
Well, I would hope that you would know these.
Well, I don't know them. I'm not that brilliant at remembering
Self-business,
things.
accountability, leadership, integrity.
If you want to give me a moment.
Objectivity,
Okay, so what
selflessness.
is that we don't remember off by heart. So
No, we don't.
the second one is leadership, which states holders of public office should exhibit these principles in their own behaviour and treat others with respect. They should actively promote and robustly support the principles and challenge poor behaviour wherever it occurs. That's all I'm going to say.
Ex-Councillor Lane, the principles you're talking about, I don't know if you're aware, they only apply to councillors when they're conducting the business of council or acting in their capacity as a councillor. And I actually refute any allegations that any of our members have conducted themselves in such a way in recent months. Okay. Would anyone else guess?
My name's Michael. I've been on the apparatus for McCartney now for 7 years. I'm not the best person for the job, but someone got to do it. What I lack in ability, I try to make up for it, is that it costs our time, our holiday, even our own money. We do stand to say that it's blistering cold night after night after a long and hard day at work. The reward is seeing kids' faces. We do quite in the dark and time. We've had decent sized parades, top tribute acts, leading the red devil parachute display. We do all this between work and busy family life. I'm so proud of our very small team. This year was not our best, but we gave it down with go. Some comments from our town there were brought to my attention recently. In these comments, the thing that hurt was being called lazy and greedy. These are 2 words that do not apply to a single member of the committee or any of our volunteers. I have no idea, you have no idea how much effort and personal sacrifice goes into these events. As a town mayor, you should be supporting us and bigging us up. I'm here today with an apology from yourself and just everyone involved.
Thank you for taking the time to come and address us this evening and myself. My comments that I made, they weren't made in my capacity as mayor, so I won't be offering an apology in my capacity as mayor this evening. I'm very aware of the hard work that goes into the Carnival Committee, because actually my family were members and my granddad chaired the committee for many, many years, built the first Santa sleigh and was the original Father Christmas. So I do know and I do appreciate it, but I didn't make those comments in this capacity. Anyone else? Councillor Tyree, you're welcome to interject if you'd like.
Yes, if I may, addressing what you said, and I've said this for many years. As a town council, our role is, yes, carry out our statutory duties, which is cemetery, dog bins, vacant spaces, That's it. But the town council primarily is to support communities, community groups. What can we do? How can we help? Whether it's just support, whether it's financial support, whether it's use of fund, and that's what I think as a town council collectively is what we want to do, because we want to promote the community, you know, provide best facilities. I don't know the details we spoke about. I don't really want to know the details that we spoke about. But I just want to make that comment to everyone. The role of town council is to support the community, to work within its own rights, we work with key stakeholders as well, and support those and grow the town for everyone, regardless of where they are in the community or what have you. So personally, I definitely do this.
And I think it goes without saying, obviously, the town council do support the Atborough Summer Carnival Committee, obviously by allowing you use of our land for your event. And I think if you had submitted a grant application this year or any year, that again is something that the town council probably, I can't say for definite because I'm only one of 15, but would consider and likely support. So we offer for groups like yourself, we offer grants, large grants of up to £5,000. We have an item on the agenda this evening, considering an application from the contest team for £4,000. And I think in recent meetings, we've gave £5,000 to Atborough Christmas lights
And the bowls.
and the Bowls Club. So yes, you'd be very welcome to submit an application.
I think also very well perhaps understands through the town clerk, as a discussion with one of us, okay, what can we do? Because these events are vital to the town as a boroughs.
Can I just confirm that you're refusing to apologise for calling the committee greedy and lazy, and your reason for not apologising is you said you did that and you weren't in your capacity as a mayor, even though
I am
it's
not-
by 1,400 people.
I am not going to entertain this with you, ex-councillor Lane. I've made myself very clear. If you'd like to come and speak to me outside of the meeting in the capacity in which I made the comments, I would be very glad to speak to you, but I'm not going to bring it into this chamber. Anyone else? Tony.
Thank you. Yes, I'm here to ask for your support. It's item number 11 on your agenda, I believe. It's the Borough Outworks. I represent the Fun Fest team. We're made up of 10 volunteers from local people, the business community. And we seek to put on some events throughout the year. Some of you we need funding for and some help, others we self-support. So I'm here to ask for your permission to use the rec for the fireworks event this year, and also the grant funding application. I think we applied for £4,000, and that will go quite some way towards the cost of the actual fireworks and the pyrotechnics that we intend to put on. Last year we had an excellent turnout, and it was way above what we were expecting on previous year's records. It seemed like the rest of the county failed to put on the firework display, and we were about the only ones that managed to go ahead and crack on with it. So we had people from all over Norfolk come and visit us for that event. So with that in mind, I ask for your support, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Will you be staying present for the item itself, or?
I can do if you need me to ask questions. We've got some other committee members here as well, so we'll do our best for you.
Any other members of the public?
Yeah, I've got another one. Just a quickie, I noticed you have provided a laptop to the subcontractor who is doing caretaking work. Is it the precedent that you're now setting as town council to provide subcontractors who are working on town council land or buildings with a laptop purchased by public money?
That is incorrect. The laptop that was purchased is for a shared laptop to be used by both of our caretakers, our caretaker that's subcontracted and our caretaker that is employed, and it remains on premises, on site at all times.
Perhaps you could put that in writing, so because that doesn't come across in the minutes.
Yeah.
It comes across as it was purchased for the subcontractor. So perhaps you could do that. And the other thing is, would you like to comment on the rumours that you're planning to kick the football club out of their building?
Sharon, is that got legal prejudice at the moment as it's a lease?
Well,
No?
well,
That's Ashley.
all I can say is that we've had a meeting with the football club and they are due to present the discussions at a meeting on Friday. So I haven't really got anything else to say because nothing has been set in stone.
And actually, the meeting that we had with members of the, it was the chairman and the secretary of the football club. What day did we meet? Wednesday this week?
Yeah.
It was actually a really pleasant atmosphere, wasn't it, Sharon? And they were very amicable. And I think that there was definitely a sentiment that all of us, all parties present, wanted to work together to achieve what's best for the club and the community.
Yeah, I'd like to hear, because there was a rumour that that you were looking to get them out of there so you could turn it into the town hall and sell this building. So that's really good to hear that you're not.
That's certainly not true.
Yeah, that's really, really good to hear that.
That's lovely.
Yeah, I think we need to be careful about coming to these meetings in a public forum and saying anything and saying it's a rumour, because there's absolutely no truth in what you've said at all.
Well, I'm speaking as a member of the public and I'm asking the town council, and you've clarified it, so that's perfect. You've nipped a rumour in the bud. So that's what you're there for, to stop that and to stop misinformation going around. And you've just done it. It's precisely what public participation is about. So
Well,
thank you for that.
Sorry, I think public participation is about holding the town accountable. You're absolutely right. But if there are rumours that have absolutely no foundation,
I
well,
think
there is. Well,
yeah.
you said that though it was a rumour.
Yeah,
It's probably best to do that privately towards the clerk in the first instance. And if you're
Why?
not satisfied with
Why?
that, because this is a public forum and
Yeah.
you're saying that a confidential meeting somehow has
No,
found
it's
its
just
way.
there's a rumour, you know, and you've addressed it, so you've done exactly what you needed to do. You know, so
If we draw this to a close, I think. Before we move on, would any last members of the public like to speak? No, okay, fabulous. Next, we have item 5, which is the minutes of the town council meeting held on the 1st of July 2024 for acceptance and approval. Councillor De Sousa, is that a proposal? Yeah, and a seconder from Councillor Dalton, and a show of hands for their approval, please.
Majority.
That's a majority vote.
One
Thank
abstention.
you. Next, we have item 6, which is appointments to other outside bodies, the Academy Community Council invitation from the head teacher to appoint. We've already had some context via email on this. Would anyone like to kickstart the debate, or does anyone have anything that they would like to comment? Councillor Ashley.
I think, I just think we need to be a bit careful if we start appointing representatives. If someone wants to be a representative, that's absolutely fine, but we just need to be careful not to set a precedent about starting to sit on loads of outside groups. Because if we do sit on this particular one, reading the terms of reference, we could be asked to sit on a number of others. That would be my interest.
Councillor Tyler.
I make a comment. And I will just say it's probably slightly taken out of context of how I'm involved in it. And it's just a record again, I made it very clear to principal, I can't represent the town council, I've not been approved. I'm invited as ex-vice chair of governors and also on the set committee, that's my role. I also encouraged and all community groups, so this is another one, primarily focusing around what we want to do, how can you go there, how can you get the academy involved in the community, and youth groups and everything else. So there's a valid conversation there, which, you know, I totally agree with. And again, it's on my recommendation, we get negative engagement on the. What I would suggest, and all it is, and I think Neil recognises this, he made a mistake in one of this. If the town clerk has got time to, and these will only be every 2-3 months. But I think in the town clerk can be there, so at least you've got the dates and everything else. There's nothing radical going on, it's more just understanding with different people that are not involved in different groups. That's all, give the voice. So there's nothing, let's say, radical in there, but I would advocate the town clerk to be in.
Thank you. I mean, my personal viewpoint is that as far as the academy goes, of course, for the leisure centre, we've got the governance board and there's town council representation on that. And then we also have the Agro Neighbourhood Plan steering group, and obviously there's representation and overlap with some of the members. It's almost like a bit of a duplication. And obviously the head teacher does sit on that board. And I wonder if actually what might be more constructive and perhaps, you know, not put any strain on Sharon's time or resource would be if at those meetings, at the steering group meetings, if whatever the Academy Council is driving, whatever their agenda is, they feed back at that point and seek support in that forum. Is that something that you'd be happy with?
Agreed. I just don't want you to feel that town council being personally excluded. I think during this discussion was the community suggested bring it in, funnel it through the AAP, funnel it in through the AAP. You know, you're an outside voice as a lot of community groups are. How do you think that information through? I'm very happy with that, I'm totally agree.
Okay. Can I formulate that as a proposal then, please, Sharon? Councillor Taylor, do you have something that you wanted to add? You look like you.
No, I'll second. Well, I do have something I want to add, but I'll second that. I just want to tell you that you actually jumped to item 7, the community council.
My apologies.
We'll go back to minutes then.
Yes, of course. No, we've done minutes. There's
I'm sorry.
There's community options.
Oh, yeah.
You move to appointments.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. I think the agenda was reissued. The agenda was reissued with an amendment. You've opened one. It wasn't recalled. Sorry. So yes. So can I move that proposal then, please, that we make contact with the academy and invite them, obviously, to funnel in from their academy community council meetings to the Agro Neighbourhood Plan steering group. And can I have a second for that proposal, please? Oh, sorry, Councillor Taylor already said she would, but thank you, Ed. It's nice to know that you support the proposal. Can I please have a show of hands?
Yeah,
It's unanimous.
yeah.
Thanks very much. Next, we have item 7, which is the GP&F terms of reference to ratify an amendment as the clerk has presented. This is for consideration and resolution. This was in the meeting papers. Hopefully everyone's had an opportunity to read in advance of the meeting. Can I please have a proposed? Yes, thank you. It is just for members of the public that might not have seen the meeting papers. It is just to amend the committee membership numbers from a cap at 6 to a minimum of 6. So can I have a second for that proposal? Councillor Fraser, and a show of hands, please. That is unanimous. Thank you very much. And to appoint extra GP&F committee members, are there any members of the council that are not currently on the General Purpose and Finance Committee that would like to be? Councillor Dalton and Councillor Bircham. And I'm happy to make that proposal. Is there a seconder to that proposal? Councillor Wingfield. And can I have a show of hands, please?
Majority to abstentions.
You can vote for yourself. Next, we have item 9, which is committee for options for our newest councillor, Councillor Simon Wingfield, onto the planning and highways and standing orders committees. Is it just the two that you'd like to join? Yeah, okay, no, that's fine, just checking. And can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Ashby, and a seconder, Councillor Bircham, and a show of hands, please. That is unanimous.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next, we have financial matters to authorise payments for acceptance and approval. Councillor Fraser, if you'd like to just step out for a moment, please. Any comments from members? If not, can I please have a proposal and seconder for their acceptance? Councillor Tyra, seconded by Councillor Reynolds, and a show of hands, please.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good.
Thank you. Next, we have item 10B to agree the direct debits, but again, for acceptance and approval. Any comments? If not, can I have a proposal and seconder, please? Councillor S. Taylor, seconded by Councillor Bircham, and a show of hands. That is unanimous, I think. Next, we have item C to receive income for acceptance and approval. Can I have a proposal and seconder, please? Councillor Dalton, seconded by Councillor Wenham, and a show of hands. Thank you, that's unanimous. And then we have item E, which is D rather, which is the pay cash for information. Any comments? No. We have income and expenditure for information. Any comments? No. And we also have the quarterly bank reconciliations to note for information. Any comments? No. Thank you for including those, Sharon, because I know we don't ordinarily have those, but I think it is good practice. So thank you. Item 11 is the approval of the FunFest Fireworks 2024 event to consider grant application for £4,000. Do any members have any comments? Councillor Ashley.
I think so long as the criteria is met, I'm happy to propose and support.
Yes. Sharon, as far as criteria goes, we didn't have any accounts, did we? But we did request bank statements.
I did. I only got 3 months worth of bank statements, but there were no accounts presented. So I did point that out, didn't I, Tony? And sort of recommended that our policy does state that there should be accounts, and with the larger amounts, they really ought to be certified by an accountant. But last year, the precedent was that there was 1 full year's of bank statements, but I did mention that to you, but I didn't actually get them through. So I don't know.
I was going to make a suggestion. The suggestion that I was going to make is, well, there's two actually. The first is that, and it's not very fair because obviously we've got members of the committee that have made an effort to come and sit with us tonight, is that we defer the application while waiting for the information that's been requested to be provided. The second, and this is my preference, would be that actually we review the grant award policy, because I think that to expect someone to submit a certified accounts, if they are a very small group that is running, you know, with low figures, low income, to have the expectation for them to have their accounts paid to be certified may be considered by some unreasonable. I do think perhaps there's better ways that we could do it. And I do wonder if actually, if it was acceptable last year, if, you know, 12 months worth of bank statements would be acceptable this year, but of course would conflict with our policy. And I also don't want to set a precedent that recently Atborough Town Football Club made a grant application, which we deferred pending certified accounts that I don't think we've received yet, but that would resolve that issue if they could just submit a year's worth of accounts or a year's worth of bank statements. I don't know how others feel. I'll go to Councillor Taylor first, and then I'll come back to Councillor Ashley. What are your thoughts?
I actually do think it's unreasonable to ask for certified accounts, because there are groups and organisations that probably don't have an accountant, that probably just have a treasurer or a bookkeeper that do their stuff for them. So I think that the policy needs to be addressed. I think that is quite harsh. And I don't know if we've actually taken out amendments that previous councillors put in, that when any organisation talks badly about the council, they have to return their money, because I know there has been an issue recently where a group has spoken badly in a meeting and it has been reported back to full council or to councillors from an attendee of that meeting. and I would hate to be stifling freedom of speech. So I do think that if that clause that was put in there by certain members present, that it should also be taken out.
Councillor Ashford, what are your thoughts?
I echo comments about the policy change. I think it's good. We want to make it. We want to have checks and balances in there, but we don't want the bar to be too high. Of whatever we've got to do to allow them to speak, so I can ask them questions.
Of course. So can I please have a proposer and seconder to suspend the standing order to allow?
Fine. Just.
Yes, of course.
I think it's a combination of things. What I personally would like to see tonight is an agreement in principle that we will approve it. We've done it in the past. I think following some comments on is policy too harsh, depending on the size of the group or the community group, what have you, needs to be reviewed. But I think to be fair to them, they need some kind of, let's say, because it probably takes a lot to organise. The waste of another month of are we going to get the money or not, unless there's significant reasons why we can't approve it. And it goes back to the council and just get back to the council, whatever, or bookkeeping. That's a policy decision, as Councillor Ashford said, and Councillor Taylor. I think, given some kind of comfort tonight, it's far better than saying, let's just do it, let's review the policy again, then let's have another meeting about the policy. And, you know, I think there's a middle ground somewhere. And we've done it in the past.
I think that's
They've
quite
been
right.
approved, and the lighting committee money approved. And again, it comes back to the principle. The town council is not here to say you can or you can't do it. Yes, we need checks and balances. I totally get it. But we're also here to support community groups, whatever they are, how big they are, how small they are, and give them some comfort. So I'd like to make a proposal.
Can I?
Sorry,
make
if
a
you
proposal?
want to.
Yeah, I'd just like to move a motion to suspend the standing orders to allow him to speak. So can I have a proposer and a second for that? I've got Councillor Taylor and Councillor Wenham. And a show of hands, please. That's unanimous.
Okay.
Would you like to ask the question?
It was to find out what's doable from you guys.
It is doable. The comment that I'd like to make, if it's going to rest any fears that you may have, our team meeting as of only last week, and that was in between me being in contact with the clerk and coming along tonight, was that we agreed as a committee to have a professional do our accounts because of the situation that we've rose to is very much that the group now is getting a little bit bigger, and we're putting on some bigger events. And that elevation means that we are conscious that we need to be more transparent in what we do, and not necessarily try and stifle what we do, because we're putting on some good stuff. But it makes it a little bit more above the board, rather than just a load of people putting some stuff together and raising a load of money for charity. So we're not going to get up to charity status. What we wanted to do was to just have a professional accountant look at our finances and sign them off coming the end of the year. We're not got any tax to pay or anything like that, but it would make things like coming along to ask you for money and any other grant funding applications that we may well want to enter a lot more viable, because we've got that authenticity behind us. So, you know, with that in mind, we did agree to have a professional look at our accounts and just, you know, get things formalised. But whether we can get them done in time, I don't really know. We've not even set any criteria, or we found out any criteria of what needs to be met to do so.
If I can just make a question and comment, and then I'm going to come to councillor Taylor and then councillor Susan.
We just noticed something, as you still suspended standing orders.
Just looking at the policy, excuse me, you approved the policy 5 months ago in May. But in the large grant section, it says all awards must be properly accounted for and evidence of expenditure should the supplier is requested. This may be in the form of bank statements or accounts verified by an accounting professional. It's not quite as black and white as you think it is. And I hope you know that because you wrote the policy 3 months ago.
I'll come to Dom first, then councillor Taylor, then I'll make my question and comment.
I'm just going to say actually what Ms. Burney says, because she's supporting the grant fully, because it provides such great entertainment for our town and community. As you rightly said, Norwich, I think it was, didn't have their fireworks displayed with there because so to provide that for our town, with the size that we are, is a great achievement. Secondly, and very quickly, I believe there were some grants previously for previous years, so we would have accounts or bank statements from previous years, at least 2. So maybe just get 1 year's of accounts or bank statements.
Yeah, it would need to be the latest year.
Yeah.
Councillor Taylor.
My question is specifically as standing orders were suspended to allow the grant application to be discussed and the applicant to speak, would be actually just to ask, would a month put any extra pressure on you if it was deferred to a later meeting, or even a couple of weeks to the open space meeting? It could go on there as it's using the open space. Would it?
I think it should
come full council. Would an extra month put that much pressure on you that it would hamper the event going ahead?
I don't really know, Sam. Sorry, Councillor Taylor. I don't really
You
know.
can call me Sam, I've got no airs and graces.
Not really aware of what's expected of us. If we approached an accounting professional to get a sign off, I'm not really sure what's expected of us as a group, nor how long it would take them to get the package finalised.
I asked the question solely because, as much as I agree with Councillor Tyra and Councillor D'Souza, and the event is probably the biggest event that the community holds, I am very mindful that we have said no to another group for exactly the same reason, and that would be unfair and unjust on that group, that if we then allowed you to do the same. And I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want the council to come under that scrutiny, because obviously there is quite a lot of scrutiny, which there should rightly so be. But I am mindful that we said no to another group pending further information. In principle, I think we have supported in the past. I don't think that there is any fear that with the correct criteria being met, it wouldn't be supported again. I would just like to see the correct criteria met.
If I may, what I'm going to say is 2 seconds. What I was going to say was, firstly, a comment. Thank you so much for coming and making the application, and also for what you do for the community. I'm very much looking forward to coming and opening WoofFest on the 1st of September, and I hope it's as brilliant as it was last year, and no doubt it will be. The question is, because I would be quite happy this evening to actually make a proposal that we do award the grant, subject to receipt of 12 months bank statements before the money is transferred, and obviously the council being content with those bank statements. I would be very happy to make that proposal this evening. What I'd like to know is, obviously, and I think you do as a group, pride yourself on your affordability to the whole community. is the intention to keep your ticket prices affordable for families? Yeah.
Yes.
I think we've set the ticket prices. I think we've gone up £50 a ticket. We've gone up 50 pence.
£3 is very
And obviously the grant application helps dramatically with.
subsidising that. Thank you.
And if I might just add on to that, Wolfest is 20p.
Yes, it is, and that is brilliant. I will say that the reason that I'm prepared to make the proposal that I've made is because I think that as a result of this is time sensitive, unlike the application that the football club made recently. But I would say that actually after this evening's meeting, we could write to the football club and say, actually, you could supply us with 12 months of bank statements instead of your accounts, as you have no certified accounts.
Okay.
And then the precedent is taken off the table. Councillor Taylor.
I'm really sorry, I'm going to amend your proposal just slightly, because I feel the accounts actually are the accountability, not the bank statements, because the accounts show where that money is spent and where it's come from. So I actually really do feel the accounts are, but I'm happy for your proposal to go ahead, but for the accounts to be submitted before the money, which could be as late as October, because you don't actually do the event until then. So
No, I think that to ask for that in the time frame would maybe be too much. And also, as has been pointed out, the policy at present allows for one or the other. So 12 months bank statements would be policy compliant. So
Going forward, you know, I'm not going to be able to speak for any other groups, but certainly our group, we've, you know, we have seen success over the last 3 years. So going forward, we fully intend to look at having an accounts package done come the end of our year, whenever that is. And that would make any grant application going forward in the future a lot more.
thank you. It certainly would. Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder to the proposal, please? Councillor Ashby, and a show of hands, please. That is majority vote.
Okay.
Yeah. And Sharon, if you can make contact with the football club and
Yeah, I will. I've
offer
made a note
them
of that, yeah.
an alternative to their application, and we can reconsider that at the next meeting. Thank you very much. Do not feel obliged to stay for the rest of the meeting. If you'd like to leave, you would be very welcome to. Okay, and thank you. Next, we have item 12, which is the men's shed for Attleborough for consideration and resolution. Councillor Ashley, would you like to make comment as you requested the item?
So I was contacted with regards to the shed in Wymondham with a question of whether we could have something similar in Attleborough. And I sent round to everybody the link to the shed in Wymondham, so that you had a good idea of what I was talking about. Did you? Yes. Personally, I think it would be a great thing to have for a number of reasons, because it would be the view is it's a men's shed just for men, but it's not. It's a shed for everybody, the whole community, to do various different things depending on the need. And I thought it was something that would be good to champion, not to promise anything, because you need volunteers to run it. But if we could try and facilitate as best we possibly could to have a similar facility in the town, I think it would be a worthwhile cause.
Councillor
Comments. I know many years ago it was needed and put forward, and there were some restrictions on criteria that we couldn't meet. But I do think it's amazing, and if we can meet the criteria now, I think we should be supporting it. And as for facilitating it, hopefully with the joint project that the district council and the town council are now embarking on, we might actually have a facility where we could actually facilitate that either inside of the building or of the outside, because I believe there is an outside area that maybe we can use as well. So I would be completely in support of going away, looking at the criteria that's needed and see if we can engage with those that can put it in motion.
Councillor Wingfield.
I support it as well. I had a look at the link, councillor McQueen. I've got some neighbours who actually volunteer at the shed, right? So they've already asked the question, you know, it'd be great, well, not a question, statement, that it would be great to have something similar in Attleborough, and I think it would be a great help.
Councillor Wingfield, do you think that perhaps you could facilitate a discussion with your neighbours and perhaps the town clerk to see if because I think that's a really great foundation for trying to move this forward. You already know people that volunteer and that is brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And there's a national network as well to support the mental health and overarching. There's plenty of advice and support.
Okay, so I don't think we necessarily need a resolution on this evening, but in principle, we're supportive and we are going to explore whether or not this is doable. Thank you. I am just going to take a motion to reconvene our standing orders so that we're back in closed session. Can I have a proposal and second to do that, please? Councillor Ashby, second by Councillor Dalton, and a show of hands, please. And that is unanimous.
We do need to go back to that just to make sure that we dot the i's and cross the t's. The vote,
And which is that?
the one about the Fun Fest
Yeah,
with the majority one abstention.
yeah.
Just need to repeat that, please.
What, the motion?
Yes, but yeah,
You want me to repeat the motion?
yes,
The motion was, the clerk's just getting a check, that we approve the grant application made.
Yeah.
Subject to receipt of.
Yeah.
12 months bank statements.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the council being content with those.
yeah.
Once that's been done.
Yeah.
You can release the funds.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can we repeat the vote, please? Sorry.
Oh, you want to
Because that
repeat
was
the vote?
done actually
Oh.
in the public participation, so it doesn't.
Okay, yes, so can we repeat the vote, please? So it was
Proposed by,
proposed by myself, it was seconded by
it was by
Councillor
Ashby,
Ashby, and all were in
Major-
favour with an abstention
of
from
one.
Councillor
Yeah.
Taylor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so then moving back on, item 13, which is the website, the business directory. So there had been some comments about this, about the business directory being out of date, which it was, and the 4 businesses, correct me if I'm wrong, Sharon, that had been carried over, that were no longer active in the town have been removed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I went through them all so that they are all live at, you know, they're still in existence, etc. So we're satisfied of what's there is valid. Yeah.
Okay, and the confusion come from, obviously, we do have a new website that only launched last month. Well, was it June
Yeah.
or July now?
Probably June.
June, end of June. And the data that had previously been on the town council website, which was the business directory that was taken down through work some time ago, was carried over. Obviously the data remained, and when it was slightly repopulated, it was then uploaded. So this is something that we have discussed. Sharon is keen to make further improvements to the business directory, categorise it, and invite our businesses to submit their information to be listed. And hopefully that can be done over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And we can have some publicity of it on our social media and on our website. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
That's fine.
No?
I've got what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you, Sharon. Next we have councillors' reports. Looking to you. Councillors' reports. To be honest, I'm going to lead with this. I'm going to say that we had our first outdoor cinema event this weekend. It was a huge success. I'd like to thank so many councillors for taking the time to marshal over the weekend and apply themselves. It was a fantastic team effort. And the team effort was led by our town clerk, who done all of the heavy lifting, the organising, and spent the entire weekend volunteering. So Sharon, as a token of our gratitude and our appreciation, the members have all chipped in
Oh, that's lovely, thank you. I'd also
and
like
wanted to present you with some
Well,
flowers.
that's really nice, thank you. I'd also like to thank the councillors, all of the councillors that turned out. I think there was some total of 6 of them, and also Anne Collins turned out as well.
I know.
So I must make mention of, so we'll share the wine.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much, that's really sweet. Thank you. Well done.
And I don't think I've had many civic engagements this month, other than obviously attending the cinema and attending the Pride event on Saturday, which was absolutely fantastic. Hats off to you, Councillor Bircham. You pulled it out of the bag. It was a brilliant day. The atmosphere was wonderful, and very much looking forward to another April Pride next year. I will say that, as I've already mentioned, I've got Woodfest coming up on the 1st of September. And the opening and reopening of Turner's Occupational Health and the Little Hair Shop coming up as well, which I'm very excited to be attending. Any other members, do you have anything to report? Councillor S. Taylor.
Yeah, so in district council capacity, I've done overview and scrutiny, quite interesting, always available online. Had a licensing catch up. Great to see the teams at Brecon County Council Trading Standards and everyone's still working together and tackling businesses that maybe we would want to be backward and not working within our communities is great. We've had a catch up on the flooding and how like the catastrophe and that might be managed, which is really good. And that's about it. I haven't been as busy this month as other months, but obviously still spending a lot of time at the hospital.
Councillor Taylor, just off the back of your comment about the flooding, there is going to be another multi-agency meeting if members would like to attend. It's been scheduled for the 30th of August, Friday the 30th of August at 6 p.m. You would be much appreciated. Any other councillors with reports? Councillor Tyler.
Just a quick one, this covered under the planning and highways committee before this meeting this evening, but we're now embarking on a review of the Aspen neighbourhood plan. Looking all the side but it was a productive meeting. We've got key stakeholders involved in that as well within the community. And more information will come out of vehicles. But it's not a major revamp, don't worry, it's not really a rewrite, it's just a update on policy, updates on where we are, updates on what new opportunities are. We've got a new governance, there have been changes, and it's looking at what we can do. So again, it's back to all the community groups and everything else, bringing that in there in terms of how do we deliver what we want to do over the next 20, 30, 6 years. But it was very positive first meeting with the consultants that have been appointed, so I'm sure there'll be regular updates and perhaps we put that on the website as well.
Okay.
I think perhaps a page dedicated on the website to the updates, similar to how we do the flooding updates would be.
Yeah, I mean, I've
Really
got one
useful.
for the first one, but really we need to develop it, don't we, so that we get the next plan review sort of.
I think it's like there, the opportunity for the community to feed into it, but not going back 10 years or saying we don't need any more anything. Those decisions can be made. It's more what we would like to see with what we've got at the moment and what we're built on within the community and how can we improve them. So I think some kind of rules, that sounds awful, I don't need to say that, but it's not reopening.
No. And hopefully our consultant will help us keep it contained. Any other councillors before we move on to Sharon's report? None? Sharon, would you like to just rattle through your report,
Okay,
please?
I'll try to, yeah, very quickly.
Thank you.
People might have seen that the town hall is now having its makeover. The back is complete and is now started on the front. Had a query on a concern about whether we are liaising with the heritage officer about the improvements, and I can assure you that for probably the third time now, I've liaised with the heritage officer just to make sure he's happy with everything. So he has been informed all the way through. The new help button for people maybe in a wheelchair that are quite low down has been installed at the front near the door so that you can press it and ask for help. Yeah, we've received a flurry of bookings for party events for the coming months. The old benches in the closed churchyard, which is near to the Pavilion Nursery, they are due for refurbishment. Updates to the CCTV system at the compound to add even better security to the area are now fully complete and working effectively. Ground staff, unfortunately, have encountered 2 further incidents of rudeness this month from members of the public. This is still unacceptable, and we would ask any members of the public to address any concerns that they have to myself. Bus shelter on Cyprus Road has been repainted. The annual play inspection report has been issued. So myself and the head groundsman are now liaising to put all the programme of works in place to action the recommendations. Then the grounds team have been working on replacing some of the fencing around the open spaces, which are in the sort of like the fairly new houses. Obviously, they do go from time to time. Benches and bins. We've got approval to place 3 new benches along London Road. So at the previous Planning and Highways Committee, I've been commissioned to sort of get quotes for that. We're also seeking quotes for the type of bin that you've got on Queen Square, which is more sturdy bin, so that they will look smarter elsewhere in the town. I think the outdoor cinema event has been mentioned, and the Queen Square Thursday Market, we have been trying to advertise and get new stalls used. So we've got 2 further stalls coming to sell wares tomorrow. And that's it, really.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Sharon. Do any members have any questions for Sharon over here? No, and if anyone would like to see a copy of Sharon's report, it is available in the meeting papers.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes,
Yes.
on the website. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Next, we have item 16, which is public participation. Would any members of the public like to participate?
Yes, I've got another question, please. My question is to the clerk initially. How would you do a stock take of what the town council actually has?
What you mean on the asset register?
Well, yeah, you know, what we've got in the, you know, you've got a compound, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. That should be done annually within the internal audit report.
So with that in mind, you've all talked about lots of exciting things tonight that are happening in the town council. How do you let the public know about these things? You no longer do a newsletter. Only 60% of the population do Facebook. So my question is, what's happened to the notice boards that were purchased by the town council 2 years ago?
I think that's just simply a logistical thing where that, yes, you're right, the notice boards have been placed. I simply haven't had time to go to the round to the town and propose the locations for the town council to approve. It's simply a time thing. So
Well,
that we still have them, yeah.
Perhaps not to you, but to the mayor and the rest of the councillors. I think, you know, you've all been in place for well over, you know, a year now. And I think communicating to the public, if you're not going to do a newsletter, I think to make use of things that you're actually holding in storage and cost the town a lot of money 2 years ago. I don't think it'd take much to get those put up. I think if you look back, the plan was there was to be one at Gaines Meadow, I think, and I think one at the entrance to the recreation ground. And I think we'll have to look back, but I think if you're not going to be informing the public by a newsletter of all the things you're doing, which is great, and there's lots of stuff going on, please make use of those, because we have got a lot of people living in the town that don't do the internet and don't do social media. And that's a free way, if you like, of informing what's going on. So.
Thank you. I think that's been noted. Any other comments from the public, please? Yes.
I just wanted to say, as one of the members of the public who attended the opening cinema, it was a success. I did enjoy it. I went with a friend, and thank you, Sharon. I met you there that night, and it was a good evening.
Thank you. Anyone else, please? No? Okay, so we're going to move on to items for the next agenda. Sharon, is there any that you'd like to put forward?
Not,
No,
At the moment.
just subject to obviously correspondence
Yeah,
with the football club. to
yeah, it will
revisit
follow
that
on what we have
application.
discussed, yeah.
Councillor Tyler.
Sorry, it's worth just putting on, it's such a big thing, it's worth just putting on a. Get right on the aim of the review. For council, open with unemployed highways. If you are going on, it's a bit turning up.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah.
it's just a two
Could have
minute,
done.
3 minute update, I think. It allows that transparency and that communication,
Okay.
rather than it being hidden in there.
Perhaps we could have it on as a quarterly basis or something.
Yeah, because that's what it'll be, but I think that would be useful for, I don't know.
It might be useful for members as well that don't sit on the planning committee. Okay, next we have the exclusion of the press and public, to pass a resolution excluding the press and public from the remainder of the meeting, given the sensitive nature of the business to be discussed. Can I have a proposal and second, please? Councillor D'Souza, Councillor Dalton, Chair Haynes. Thank you. And thank you everyone for attending this evening. It's brilliant to see so many people present.